Welcome back to the Hank Strange Situation, Lifestyles of the Locked and Loaded.
Make sure to check out hankstrange.com. You can sign up for our email list and find ways to follow and support our efforts.
YouTube, Hank and I have talked about this a lot in the past, but YouTube, in my mind, wants to just become another non-TV channel, basically. Like, they just want to host content for Disney or content for Fox or CNN, earn their own ad revenue, but not have to deal with any of the people that actually make them what they are. Like, they just want to be a publisher instead of, basically. Like,
but that's to their own detriment. Go ahead. Sorry.
I think there's a political, philosophical question here. Like, when you look at, I know it's a big controversy about what YouTube pushes with its algorithm here in the States versus kind of any other state, like even compared to in Canada, where like actual content from creators on the platform makes it into your recommended. And so part of this to me is not even about the personality of YouTube or even Google as a company, but if you do want to back it up to Google, it seems to me like this is an admission on the platform's part, at least indirectly, that it is a primary controller of how people are informed. And what does it want to do? It just wants to reinforce the mainstream narrative. Okay, it just wants to reinforce official knowledge, from the cathedral. So I don't even think it's just about a personality bent or an interest toward like promoting celebrity culture. I think it's literally proof that it knows that it siphons official knowledge. One of every two searches for information begins on the platform now. So this is a conscious signal that they tend to control what you can see and think about.
Yeah, but that's to their detriment. I think ultimately it's like I grew up in hip hop, and I think the same thing happened there, although it's super commercialized right now. But in the beginning, that massive push against hip hop music or rap music, however you want to look at it, it's what made it so popular and why it dominates right now. And I think that's the same danger that they're running. If these really big popular platforms keep pushing people like us away and making us the rebels or whatever, we're what people are going to look for. If we figure out something that can actually stick, people will go there, and YouTube will become like MySpace or something.
I hope that's true. I think there's a lot of computer science and stuff that has to be done before that can be true. But I want that true.
Yeah. I would like to see that as well. I don't know, if we'll make it there, but I hope so. And I think that, if you just look at how many different things exist right now to counter them. And then also think about this. YouTube is trying to be more like streamers, like Patrick is saying. They're trying to be more like Netflix and all these other places. But why are all those businesses failing? Why are they failing? There's a connection there. Go ahead.
Offer a couple opinions. Obviously I watch the street like everybody else does, and fake subscriber growth and all these other things. And platforms competing with each other. But does YouTube know what it wants to be? Does it want to be a competitor in the streaming services? Okay, sure, I guess. Does it want to promote its natural creator content? I guess to some degree, but I think more than anything else, it just wants to show its alignment with the state because it's part of the power process.
Okay.
And so this is just how I can't help but see things. And so YouTube, Google, they're a part of inflicting or enforcing State Department policy. Like, they are organ of government. And so I can only really see that as the top level interest beyond kind of anything else.
Yeah. I mean, you sound so I'm not attacking you on this, but you sound a little jaded, right? Obviously you've been through the ringer. But don't you think the desire, like what people want eventually they get, and this is how a lot of companies lose business. I remember when BlackBerry was the smartphone, that everyone went to, but then Apple made the iPhone and everyone went in that direction.
I love Apple as a company, despite how totally woke and awful they are. I love the mythology of Steve Jobs as a manager, and one could only kind of thrill at the idea of Steve Jobs being given control of the government, for example. Who knows what he would do there? Like the kind of corporate ruthlessness and just destroying entire bureaus.
You're being sarcastic.
I'm sure. I just think, sure, like this all has appeal. It's just, in large part, I have witnessed this transition from, I don't know, the mid 2000s and that hollow decade to now. And it does seem to me that YouTube is largely about capturing your interest, diverting it in real time, not promoting the content that you're actually looking for. And this, I can extend this this analysis to search. Google search is garbage and does not function. And I think a lot of people are aware of this, especially post-COVID. Okay, well, then this problem is an admission of their monopoly position and their position like qua power, their alignment with the state power. No, I think the market mechanism isn't working, and I don't think there are reasonable alternatives, and they're abusing this monopoly.
I completely agree. It's I mean, Google lost a lawsuit. I don't remember if it was a year ago or a little more than a year ago. With COVID and everything, I feel like the last 3 years have kind of been a blur. But they lost a lawsuit within the last couple of years because they were algorithmically, if you clicked on the video tab in a Google search, algorithmically they were pushing YouTube content to the top before anything else, even if Weather Channel's video about something was more popular. And somebody took them to court, or a group of somebodies, I guess, took them to court over fair competition, and Google lost. And now, if you go to videos, you'll see a mix of YouTube and whatever other websites put together. But no, it just goes to show that they completely own the monopoly on information and how you get to it.
This is like maybe 2004, 2008. I don't quite remember, but it was Sergey Brin giving testimony. And he was saying, you know, our role at Google, our job, our hope is that we get you off the platform.
We're going to take a quick break. Sorry, hold on. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back.
Walther Arms has been making concealed carry handguns for over 90 years, starting with the PPK. Today, Walther is based in the good old US of A and still builds quality firearms like the PPQ and PDP for personal defense and competition. So when you're in the market, please consider Walther Arms. We wouldn't be able to keep the Who Moved My Freedom podcast going without the support of great companies like Walther Arms.
Yeah, I forgot about it.
I just warned you. Yes, we have to be.
3-second warning.
We have to respect the man.
Cody was going to make a brilliant point, and Hank just.
We got to rep for Walther. At the end of the day, I need money to pay the diesel bill here on this printer. My apologies, Cody. You were talking about Sergey Brin.
Just to reinforce this point, I remember him from like 04 or 06 or something giving testimony that, okay, our hope at Google is to get you off of the site as soon as possible, deliver what you want. And he was even saying our competitors at Google, they'll deliver their own kind of hosted or branded content or advertised content or something at the top of the page to follow on. Can I call you Babyface? Like how do you?
Patrick or Patrick's my name.
Babyface. Babyface is good.
Hank calls me Babyface. It's either.
Don't call him Patrick. That's boring.
Follow Mr. Babyface's point. As the Babyface gentleman has pointed out, in recent years, you know, like this is they've gone away from this entirely, and we know every time we do a Google search now, we get just snowed over with ads, so we have to kind of move down the page to finally find what we're looking for, if we can find it at all. So obviously this has all been abused, and Sergey impeaches himself with his own prior testimony. So we just know that this is all going in a direction that's not to our benefit.
Yeah. So the thing I was trying to find... Go ahead, Patrick. Did you
all things. It seems like all things end in disaster. I don't know why, but it feels like it's human nature for you to start something with good intentions, and then eventually... most of the time, greed takes over and they start seeing the dollar signs, and then things just slowly progress into what we have now, which is Google owning everything.
Yeah. And so look, the market mechanism should take over. I mean, we sit here and admit
things have to be paid for. It's got to be profitable. Capitalism.
But
so I'm not something won't replace Google. You know, if anything, I'm saying, okay, sure, something should replace Google. I hope something can. I hope something will. But really depressed at how long that's taking.
Yeah. Well, so that
part of the problem again is going back to the fact that Google has built a bunch of different umbrellas over their search algorithm, and then use those to push you back to what they want you to see. So they're absolutely monopolizing data.
Yeah,
and
telling you where to go instead of allowing it naturally.
I'll say this too. I mean, search is a hard thing. Okay, I mean, in everything I've studied about text-based search, all the technology there. I mean, they're doing something really brilliant, and it's very difficult to do that at scale. And so it seems to me then the thing that will replace Google has to solve search in a different way. It's probably not even going to be text-based. This is a little bit out of my domain, and probably I've now derailed the conversation.
Well, I see you as the
that's
gun
the
guys
thing about
tech
this
guy,
podcast.
Cody. Whether you like it or not, I see you as the gun guys tech guy. I know that might seem crazy to some people, but I think that you're following a lot of this just to survive, like the nature of survival, right? All the things that you've been through. I feel like I've kind of gone through a little bit of that, nowhere near to what's happened with you guys at Defense Distributed, but just, going through all of this, you have to know about tech. You have to be on top of it, looking at it, thinking about what's going to happen, because there's all these ways they're going to block us.
Make sure to check out hankstrange.com. You can sign up for our email list and find ways to follow and support our efforts.